Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alex from Motored Life, and it's a rainy day today, so we are working on the bike hauler here. If you want to see how I ended up with this truck, make sure you check out that video below. Crazy story, but I know what you're thinking. Alex, I know you got a baller-ass sound system, and I do. Of course I do. Let me show you what I'm working with here. Boom, Mac Daddy, stock big boy here, and advanced technology here. Check this guy out. Boom. What original cassette with that 3.5. Honestly, I've been using this since I was 16 years old, and here I am 35 using it on this new truck here. And more advanced technology. Boom, Bluetooth to my phone. Now, honestly, that's not going to cut it here. So we are installing this awesome screen from Haudio. Hopefully it's going to go somewhere in this general area here. So if you're ready, hit that thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started and check out this new awesome 10-inch screen from Haudio. All right, so today we have the Haudio PND1001. This is a 9.3-inch touchscreen that is super easy to install and under $100. So I think this is going to be a sweet option to get my system up to date here. So let's go over everything you get in the box. All right, we got everything out of the box. Let's go ahead and check out everything that we have here. So we have the screen here, and I think the whole screen is 10.2, and then you have a 1/2-inch bezel, so it's 9.3 inches altogether. And then on this guy here, you do have an HD camera on the back built into this screen here. On the side, you can see we do have a couple of ports there for you to check out. Power cord, SD card slots, a little bit of video inputs. Here is one of the mounts. Looks like a pedestal mount with double-sided tape, and then you have a suction cup mount that'll I think will fit nicely for our application. Couple extra cords. Here is the power cord. It comes with a 64 gigabyte SD card for dash cam options. So you do have dash cam, which this is the rear camera. So you do have a front camera and a rear camera included with this setup, and then it has up all your backup features and everything, and enough cord to get all the way to the back, hopefully. And then here's some more double-sided tape on that. So you can see a super easy option. Looks like once you download the app, this hooks right to your Bluetooth and everything, and then you can plug it in a couple different ways, or this has an FM transmitter, so you can actually just pick one of those radio stations and then do directly through that, which will be super easy. So we'll have a couple different options to get it mounted up, because you saw the truck, it's a little bit dated. She's an 03, but she's perfect for me. So let's go ahead and get this all mounted up and see how it looks in the vehicle. All right, honestly, getting it set up seems to be a breeze. So it uses a regular USB-C, so I hooked it up to a regular USB-C, and I'm sitting here in my chair, not in the truck, getting it all set up, and it looks like super easy to get the initial settings all set up, and then once I get it hooked up to the app and everything, we'll get the rest of the GPS and the Bluetooth and everything, music hooked up. And it does have a speaker in here if you want it as well, so it would do a standalone system by itself right here in my hand. But we're going to go ahead and get it hooked up to the truck and everything, so we can get the cameras all hooked up and ready to go. But so far, easy to hook up. All right, so we got it all hooked up and everything, ready to go. So I tried a couple different places to get it mounted up. I tried putting the suction cup in here or down here on that little pedestal. So with the camera on the back here, really wanted it facing as high up as I could. So it is a little high on the dash, but you can see this thing is pretty cool. And then just suction cupped right there and then kind of hangs off here. So you see, there's a couple different ways that we can have the sound coming out of this. So we can actually have it go through the FM transmitter to the antenna to play speakers that way, or we can plug in a 3.5 in there, and it does have Bluetooth as well. So once we get all that hooked up, we'll get all of the features, and then it looks like we're really going to have the power wire, which I should be able to hide underneath the trim piece here. And then we do have the camera wire, which I think I'm going to run down, up, down, back, and back to the back there. So we'll go ahead and get all that set up. But yeah, so far, thumbs up. It definitely looks cool and is a great size on there. But I do have to say, in this spot here, it is a little bit high up there and kind of, up in the way on the dash there. So if there's a way I could move it down here, that would be great. But I mean, this definitely works. So cool. All right, cool. Hooked up to Bluetooth and Android Auto, automatically hooked up and everything. Don't worry about my music, but you can see you got your GPS and everything. And then you got the speaker on the inside of this, which is okay, but I'll go ahead and hook up I'll go ahead and hook up probably the 3.5 or the Bluetooth or the FM transmitter and everything, so it all works. But yeah, this thing is actually pretty cool. You can see it did hook up perfectly to the Android Auto, so you have all of your features and everything like the fancy cars do. So cool. And it looks nice too. It is not too bad. It does stick up a little bit, like I said, but not too shabby. All right, cool. So sounds good. Honestly, I ended up plugging the 3.5 in just because these Bose speakers suck. So I use the multiple different equalizers built into this and on my phone to get the perfect sound. But yeah, just imagine some funky music right now. Sounds great, but we are at Walmart. We're actually gonna get some window tint because this is just so big and in my face. I definitely want some extra cover on the windows here. So yeah, thumbs up. Definitely thumbs up. All right, well, here's something they actually don't put in the manual, so I was trying to figure it out. So here's the reverse camera. We ran the wire up through here, and then it has a split off and has a, looks like kind of like a power wire, a black and red wire. So I'm assuming this goes to the brake light. That's what engages the camera to turn on, because I can't figure out any way to turn it on without that. But yeah, I didn't notice that in the actual manual itself, so we're going to go ahead and hook this up to the brake light and see if we can get this to engage. Then we're going to install this right up there. All right, went ahead and ran that little wire down here, through the frame, through the panel, through here, and then just hooked to these to the actual reverse bulb. I'm going to put the wires down in there if this does work, but here's our test just to get it to work. So we hooked up that wire to the reverse bulb. Let's see if it works. All right, let's go ahead and throw it in reverse. Oh, nice. All right, of course, it's just sitting on the back. There's kind of the tailgate right there. But yeah, so hooking that wire up to the reverse light did engage the reverse camera here. And it does look like it's upside down on there. So I'll flip it and get it mounted and everything. And then we should be good to go. Nice, nice. Perfect. All right. Got her all mounted up there. And we are good to go. Cool. All right. Backup camera installed and engaged. All right. Perfect. So let's go ahead over my final thoughts on this awesome 9.3-inch screen from Haudio. Alrighty, so my final thoughts on this awesome little touchscreen from Haudio here. So I'll tell you, it's an easy way to get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on your vehicle, like your wife's fancy vehicle. So, I mean, under $100 to get all of these awesome features, you know, the GPS, the, you know, Pandora, the music, the radio, everything, the backup camera's legit, everything, honestly, for under $100, pretty legit. So I tell you, if you have an older truck like me in this old rusty beast here and say you don't want to, you know, spend a lot for a fancy system, tell you under $100, easy way to get hooked up. So awesome. Thumbs up for me. Make sure you go over to the website and check out all of the awesome radio units they have. They actually have ones that you can build in and a bunch of ones like this that just plug and play. So awesome. Make sure you get over there and check them out. I will see all of you guys later. Deuces.
Life is back, my friend. Gotta gas up the tank before we